and welcome back to my channel, Multilingual at Heart. If you are new on the channel, welcome. I am a world language teacher for the elementary level. I teach Spanish and French, and I teach preschool through 6th grade. So if you are a classroom teacher and you're looking to incorporate some Spanish lessons into your classes, or if you're a parent who's looking to teach your children or your child Spanish, or if you are a Spanish teacher and you're here looking for ideas and tips on lessons, and specifically today lessons for the fall, then stick around. You might want to check out my blog, multilingualatheart.com, where I have lots of tips and information for foreign language teachers. And in addition, you can click on the free resource library tab and subscribe to my free resource library so that you can start downloading lots of free lessons. You can find classroom decor, you can find lots of different activities and products that are completely free, so you don't want to miss out on any of that. Also, subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any content going forward. And also you can visit the blog, multilingualatheart.com, and click on the shop tab, and you'll find lots and lots of lessons in Spanish, also in French, and also for ESL. So let's get started, and let's talk today all about fall themed Spanish lessons. So here we are, it's November, and it's starting to get cozy in here. And it's one of my favorite times of the school year. So lots of fun. I'll just start off by talking about the youngest students. So sort of that preschool through kindergarten level, anywhere between the ages of 3 and maybe 7 even. So I'll talk about some ideas for that age level, and then we'll go up from there. So for my youngest students in the fall, of course, we're talking about calabazas. Y colores de calabazas. Calabazas de colores is one of the lessons you'll find on my shop, on my TPT shop, but it's a really fun one that we do. And we start off, of course, to reinforce the colors by seeing all these different pumpkins and different colors. So when you're working with little kids, you want to keep them engaged, lots of movement activities and art projects, and just, the idea is just to constantly have them busy and moving around. Lots of songs, singing and dancing and movement that we do in the classroom. So for this lesson, for example, calabazas de colores, I like to use real pumpkins. So I have a treasure box in the class, and we call it the mystery box. And the kids love to reach in and pull something out. So I actually do take the time to paint little pumpkins, each a different color, and I let the kids reach in, choose a pumpkin, and we say the color in Spanish, and we match it with these flashcards. And I also have, this lesson also comes up with little cutouts, like little pumpkin cutouts of the different colors that you can use in different ways. We also use a flannel board a lot in the class, and so all of the pumpkins have just the little Velcro tab on the back, and they're laminated. So you just print them out on cardstock, laminate them, put them up on the flannel board, and the kids have a lot of fun playing with those. And then there are also some worksheets in this lesson, so there's a coloring one. So another set activity that I have is called El Otoño, so just all about the fall. There are some great books, great storybooks in Spanish available that you can read just to kind of introduce the season to the kids in Spanish, and a lot of the vocabulary that's related to the season, like, pumpkins and leaves and all of those kinds of things, and then reinforcing colors and numbers and all the things that you've already been introducing to them as you've started the year. So for the fall unit, what we do is the activity is a bare tree, and there are different ways you can do it. You can just cut out a tree with brown construction paper, and with different colored construction paper, you can make some leaves for the kids to glue on. And again, you're talking about colors, and now you're talking about the vocabulary about leaves and trees and the fall again. So that's a fun project to do with the little kids. And I also have on my activity set that's available on multilingualatheart.com. If you click the shop tab, it will take you to Multilingual at Heart, the shop that's on Teachers Pay Teachers. You'll find this particular lesson called El Otoño, and it's under Spanish for Young Learners. And it has all of the leaves in different colors with the names in Spanish on them, and they're like cutouts, and then there's also flashcards, a word wall, and then different activities and projects and worksheets that you can do with the students. Some other ideas that you can do during the fall. I love doing a lot of apple themed lessons. We do a very big unit on apples, and we do it from preschool all the way up through 2nd grade. So in preschool, I have this fun, another unit that you can find on Multilingual at Heart, or you can just kind of do it on your own. It's called Cinco Manzanas. So it's this little poem, and I have a tree that I made out of construction paper with little Velcro tabs, and the apples are, stuck on the tree. And so I put that up on the flannel board, and then with the kids, I will tell the story, Cinco manzanas en un manzano, una se cayó. And so I take it off, and it falls to the ground. And then a lot of them will just say cuatro, or you count with them, cuatro manzanas en el manzano, una se cayó, ahora hay 3 manzanas en el manzano. And so you can do things like that with the kids and really get them to use the language and to be speaking. And you can always turn it into a fun song for the kids as well. So that it would be perfect for anywhere between ages 3 to 5. And then for the slightly older ones, I usually take out the mystery box and have apples in it, and we'll do the Cinco Manzanas. Sometimes we'll make it up to 10 manzanas, and then, or however many students are in the class, and then they each get a manzana. If you haven't seen my classroom yet, I'm gonna do a tour of my world language classrooms that I can share it with you. But in my classroom, I have a cafe and lots of pretend food. So this is definitely an investment that is very worth it in your world language classes. If you are a world language teacher or any foreign language teacher, it's really good to have some pretend food. You can use it in so many different ways. So for this, we take the apples, I put them in the mystery box. They each get to choose an apple, and they're holding it up, and we all become an apple tree, and then they drop the apple as we point to each student, or sometimes we'll go through the whole poem, and they'll drop it when I say una manzana se cayó, and they know to drop their manzana. So that's another activity that you can always do. You could even bring in real apples. 1st grade, we start with this Emergent reader program. So I have created a lot of Emergent readers for my students. Again, you can find that under Spanish Lessons for Young Learners. You'll find them for all different themes and topics. And I have one that's called Manzanas, and it's a very simple book. They trace the sentences and then color in the apples or the illustrations based on what the sentence says. My students do really well with this one, and they love reading it. And then as they get a little bit older, we do a song called Manzanas, Manzanitas, Me gustan las manzanas, redondas y rojitas, manzanas, manzanitas. And so they learn the song, and then they make a book, and they trace that whole poem, and we sing it. And so some of them like to sing it when they're presenting their book orally. And then it also has a page for them to talk about their favorite apple treat. And at our school, we have an apple festival. So they all bring something in for the apple festival. So they usually write whatever they brought in for that. So that's always fun. I have like a whole PowerPoint presentation all about apple treats and the apple festival. And the kids talk about their favorite apple treat in Spanish, and it's in their book. And yes, we do oral presentations, even as young as 2nd grade, 1st grade. They usually present their books that they make to the class. So it's really great practice for them to get up and be speaking in the language, or some of them like to even sing in the language. For the younger ones, I don't put a lot of pressure. Most of them want to do it. Of course, we always have some that don't, and I never push. But As they get older, yes, it's part of the grade. They have to be able to orally present in the foreign language. And of course, as we know, the earlier they start, the better and easier it is for them to do. There are a lot of other ideas that you will find on multilingual@heart.com about pumpkins and apples and other fall themed lessons. Now, this particular lesson, this last one that I'm going to talk about, isn't necessarily just for fall. This you could do any time of year because it's talking about all of the months of the year. And so it just happens that at this time of year, that's when I'm introducing the calendar, the date, the days of the week, the months of the year to some of the students, some of the younger students. This is perfect kind of for like middle, like we're talking, somewhere between age 7 and 9 or 10. So this book is called Los Meses De Lano, and this is an Emergent reader. As you can see, they trace the sentence. So this one says, enero. En enero voy a patinar. So we talk about that together as a group. They trace it, and then they can draw themselves either doing that, or if some of them say that they don't like doing that, I'll show them on the board. Okay, no me gusta patinar. You can write that. No me gusta patinar. ¿Qué te gusta hacer? What do you like to do? So good ways to open up a lot of conversation with the students in a very natural way in Spanish or whatever language you're teaching. You could certainly make something like this. So then we have febrero. En febrero voy a escribir cartas. En marzo voy a celebrar el Día de San Patricio. So different things that you can do. This is just mine, and yes, it is available on Multilingual at Heart if you're looking for something like this, and it's pretty easy to make as well. So feel free to take a look at the different lessons that I have both on my free resource library as well as my shop on Multilingual at Heart, and of course the blog that has lots of tips and information. If any of this was helpful to you, please subscribe to the channel and like and share. Also, feel free to leave any comments or questions that you may have in the comments below. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of fall, and I'll check back with you soon. Adios.